what you've done in the laser industry has been incredible. You're a multiple President Club winner, then moving up into mid-level management, and then moving up into a director and being on a national scale. Every single position that you've held, you've just crushed it. And so I want to stick right now onto the actual sales part of it. So you mentioned in college, you would go on these routes into these different neighborhoods that you would, route them out so that you were minimizing the time and working the route properly. Other than that, how did you like structure your day in medical device sales to continuously be a top rep year after year after year?
Yeah, I think that it was just to me there, people that are successful in med device or in my world, but I think in general in medical, you can either be successful and work 9 to 5. For me, it was a lifestyle and it's always been a lifestyle. And I've just always put in the homework. I think the toughest part about the job is the homework, and it's what are you doing after hours? And it's either are you educating yourself by just getting better on sales? Are you making phone calls to people that are better than you and trying to find out what are they doing and working on your pitches, working on your craft? I was always just trying to find out ways to get better always, but I also just was relentless on my network, to be honest. I realized that I can only be in so many places at so many times, but if I was able to find ways to find other people in my territory that I could befriend and make friends with, that my spider web could be bigger than other people's. So not only would I work efficiently with my time, but if I was able to then create people that worked in different sectors, but were calling on the same specialties, and then they were actually helping me, I always said, like, once again, I was going to never stop working. My phone never shut off and still never does. But if I had people that were actually helping me along the way, I was going to be unstoppable no matter what company I worked for. So now that stuff doesn't just happen overnight. I think people think that, like, oh, now, for instance, to give you an example, is look in my space, and this, but for others that are listening, right? Like, in cosmetics or in the aesthetic space, you have people that sell injectables, you have people that sell skincare, you have people that sell, low level other devices. You are all going to be in the same offices all the time. Sometimes I think when I first got in the industry, I would go into a meeting and I'd be like, oh, look at this person. They have to do a lunch. The doctor wants to see me. And I almost overlooked them. And I realized, like, that's very silly thinking and very short sighted. You need to be able to realize that if you can befriend someone like that and realize that we're all trying to get to the same goal, well, then all of a sudden I wound up becoming great friends with the people that worked at this injectable company, that injectable company, then this skincare line. And then all of a sudden I had all of these people that became really good friends, but now I had all of these people looking out in these offices that wound up, they only covered maybe 20 square blocks where I covered multiple states. But these guys were my ears and eyes in all of these different offices and were looking out for me and were saying, hey, you know what? This practice is looking potentially at maybe this product or this product. And therefore, I was working smarter as well as harder. They always say work smarter, not harder. That never existed for me. I was always working hard, but I also was working smarter than my competition, where I didn't overlook anybody, because to me, sometimes I was overlooked. So I never overlooked anybody. I was always like, hey, if I could have a better network plus work efficiently by maybe working my territory in a way where instead of me saying, well, I'll jump here, jump here, jump here, jump here, I'll try to streamline